The Canadian immigration authorities are becoming more and more strict with each passing day regarding their requirements for international students. Reports show nearly 41% of study permit applications from India alone were rejected in 2021. The application process for a student visa is very challenging and expensive. As a result, students hoping to study in Canada may find rejection extremely difficult. Are you someone who has recently received a visa rejection letter from the Canadian Embassy? Watch this to learn about the most common reasons for student visa rejection in Canada and how you can fix your application before it's too late. Below are the 10 common Canada student visa rejection reasons. There are multiple reasons why your travel history and identity documents may not be enough to be accepted by the Canadian government. Here are some of the most common issues. 1. Your travel history is incomplete. 2. You have an invalid passport. 3. Your passport has expired. 4. You do not have a valid visa. 5. You have been denied entry to Canada in the past. 6. You have a criminal record. 7. You are considered a security risk by the Canadian government. 2. Financial instability. One of the main reasons for student visa rejection in Canada is financial instability. When applying for a student visa, applicants need to show that they have the financial means to support themselves during their studies. This includes tuition fees, living expenses, and any other associated costs. If an applicant fails to provide proof of the necessary funds, their application may be rejected. There are several ways to show evidence of financial stability, such as by providing bank statements or a letter from a sponsor. However, if an applicant does not have strong financial backing, their chances of getting a student visa for Canada are significantly reduced. 3. Intent to return to home country. Another reason for student visa rejection in Canada is the student's lack of intent to return to their country after the course completion. The study permit is a temporary visa that allows students to pursue their studies in Canada. If the visa officer feels that the applicant has no intent to return to their own country after the course completion, the application can be rejected. You should inform the immigration authorities, IRCC, about your intention to prolong your stay in the country and get an extension on the expiration of your visa until you get eligible to apply for a PR in Canada. 4. Academic requirement. Some of the most common reasons for student visa rejection in Canada include failing to meet the minimum academic requirements. If a student is applying to study at a Canadian institution, they must first meet the minimum academic requirements set out by that institution. If they do not meet these requirements, their visa will likely be rejected. Be sure that you can back up everything you claim on your visa application with supporting documents, or else it will simply be rejected. Applicants with secondary or post-secondary education qualifications such as high school diplomas, degrees and trade certificates who don't include copies of their qualifications or transcripts, and furthermore, an Education Credential Assessment, ECA, won't receive any points for their education, as mentioned above. The same rules apply for work experience. Applicants must include a reference letter stating hours worked, duties and responsibilities. 5. Pending applications. If your application for a student visa is pending for a long time, there are chances it can get rejected. Check the standard processing time for the type of visa you have applied for on the website for Immigration, Refugees, Citizens of Canada, IRCC. You can also find the status of your application on the same website. If you find that your application is pending for longer than the standard time, try to contact the authority as soon as possible. 6. Failure to meet the international security standards. There are several reasons why your visa application may be rejected if you fail to meet international security standards. These include: 1. You have a criminal record. 2. You have been involved in terrorist activities. 3. You are considered to be a security risk to Canada. 4. You have been denied entry to another country. 5. You have ties to a country that is considered to be a security risk to Canada. If you are found to be inadmissible on security grounds, you will not be able to enter Canada. If you are already in Canada, you may be asked to leave the country. 7. Letter of acceptance. Your letter of acceptance is one of the most important documents in your application. Make sure it is from a designated learning institution and that it includes your program start date, length of study, and tuition fees. If you are applying for a visa to attend a private school, you must also include a letter from the school confirming that it is authorized by the provincial or territorial government to operate an education program. Your visa will be rejected if the relevant authority revoked your letter of acceptance. If you are submitting your application online, you must upload your letter of acceptance in the document checklist section. If you are mailing in your application, include your original letter of acceptance and 2 photocopies. Keep the original copy for yourself. You will need it when you pick up your visa. 8. Incomplete travel or identity documents. One of the major reasons behind student visa rejection in Canada can be incomplete travel or identity documents. When applying for a student visa, you must be sure to include all required documentation, including a valid passport, proof of financial support, and a letter of acceptance from a Canadian educational institution. If any of these items are missing from your application, your visa will likely be denied. To avoid having your visa application rejected. 1. Always double-check that you have all the required documents before submitting your application. 2. If you have any questions about what documents are needed, you can contact the Canadian Embassy or Consulate in your home country for more information. 9. False claims. Another common reason for rejection is false or misleading information on the application. When filling out your visa application, it is crucial to be truthful because any inconsistencies may result in rejection. If you have any questions about any step of the process, it is best to consult with a professional, such as an immigration attorney, before submitting your application. The misrepresentation of information on applications is usually not done intentionally and are in most cases completely avoidable. For example, some applicants simply do not understand a question, forget to add certain information to a form, or misunderstand the instructions that are provided on the form. The application form and supporting documents provided go through a rigorous screening process. Unfortunately, if errors are picked up, the Canadian federal government does not give second chances for corrections. They'll reject the application on grounds of misinformation and then you'll have to start the process from scratch. 10. Failure to meet health standards. If you are planning to apply for a visa to move to Canada, it is important to be aware of the reasons why your application may be rejected. There are several health requirements that you must meet to be granted a visa to move to Canada. These requirements are designed to protect the health and safety of Canadians, and failure to meet them can result in your application being rejected. Some of the health requirements that you must meet include: 1. Providing a medical exam report from an approved panel physician, proving that you are vaccinated against certain diseases. If you fail to provide evidence that you meet these requirements, your application will likely be rejected. It is important to note that meeting the health requirements for a visa does not guarantee that your application will be approved. Other factors like criminal histories or security concerns can also lead to a visa rejection. How you can avoid getting rejected. There are a few things you can do to avoid getting your visa rejected when applying to study in Canada. 1. Make sure you meet all the eligibility requirements for a study permit. 2. Complete your application correctly and include all required supporting documents. 3. Submit your application well in advance of your planned departure date. 4. Be prepared to demonstrate to the visa officer that you have ties to your home country and intend to return there after completing your studies in Canada. Conclusion: there are many reasons for student visa rejection in Canada. So, if you're planning on studying in Canada, make sure you do your research and avoid these common mistakes so that you can increase your chances of getting your visa approved.